Criminal cases are unique because you're presumed innocent. Really, the only case you don't have to do anything. You're not compelled to do anything. You can't be compelled to testify. So typically the strategy is to attack the evidence that's being presented by the state. But if you do have an argument that proves your innocence, there can be an opportunity or a time where you want to argue a defense. Then formulating a criminal defense for that particular case may be appropriate. I'd say the most common types of criminal defenses are going to be self-defense, defense of a third party, coercion, an alibi, and those are all called affirmative defenses. Self-defense essentially comes out about three parts. One is, do you have a legal right to be there? Did you start the incident? Other things to consider is, was the force you used reasonable? If somebody's pushing you, was your reaction reasonable? And whether you had the ability to retreat. So the law encourages you, if you can walk away, to walk away. If you find yourself in a situation where you're in your vehicle or in your home or in a place where you can't retreat, then that duty may not apply to your particular case. Along the same lines of self-defense, except in that situation, you could go and you could defend a third party. You have a reasonable belief that harm is going to be caused to them, and you're allowed by law to go defend that person within reason. Constitutional rights are really important, and really it's part of every analysis in any criminal case. But in general, some examples of your constitutional rights would be rights against unreasonable search and seizures. Others would be you have the right to remain silent. No one can force you to testify at a court hearing against yourself. So each case is pretty fact specific, but each case we look at, we analyze to make sure all the I's were dotted and T's were crossed. And if you find yourself in a situation that a search warrant was too broad, that law enforcement brought you into custody and started asking you questions without reading your rights, then you may have some constitutional defenses. Coercion and duress is another criminal defense, and where we typically see those is someone forced you to commit a criminal act. This could be a situation where you were threatened, or a family member or loved one was threatened, and so you did the act out of fear, not willingly. Abandonment and withdrawal is another criminal defense where you've changed your mind, and you've removed yourself from the situation. Now your accomplices may still proceed and move forward, but if we can establish that you changed your mind and removed yourself from the situation, then you could have a good defense for abandonment. If you're suspected to commit a crime, or you think there may be some allegations, or you're concerned there may be a charge coming, I would immediately get on the phone with the criminal defense attorney. Being asked to be interviewed by an investigator, having interactions with police officers about a potential crime, that's the moment where you need a criminal defense attorney. The statements you make on day one can determine the outcome of your case. Initially, you're going to be issued a summons or a warrant for your arrest. If you've been issued a warrant, it's important that you contact your criminal defense attorney who can coordinate with the bail bondsman. So once you turn yourself in, we can coordinate your release. You're going to have a few hearings. One's going to be your initial hearing. It's where the court's going to advise you of your rights. And if you're a felony or a misdemeanor, you're going to have a jury trial or a bench trial scheduled. Because there are certain deadlines, motion deadlines, defense deadlines, that your attorney may want to file. And if you go past those deadlines, you may have waived those. So it's important to get a criminal defense attorney in early in the process. In looking for a criminal defense attorney, it's important that you get someone that's experienced. And we have experience at bench trials, jury trials, we've gone to the Court of Appeals. We've recently won a case in the Supreme Court. We understand you need somebody on your team that's willing to fight, that's willing to stay late, willing to work the weekends if needed. At Webster Garino, you're going to get a team that takes the approach that we're in this together to get the best outcome in your case.